Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Sunday, April the 28th, 2024. It is day 14 of our life cycle of a chicken unit. We have 7 days left. I'm going to try to back out a little bit. There we go. So you can see all of the slides that we have covered so far. So this was day 1. Day 2, you can see the vocabulary words we've had each day. These are the words that the boys and girls have been incorporating into their writing. And I'm just going to flip through these until we get to today. Today marks the 2-week point. So we are at day 14, which is exactly 2 weeks into our 3-week cycle of hatching chickens. How exciting. So on day 14, the embryo turns its head toward the end of the egg. Now this picture is a little misleading in the sense of how we're doing it in our incubator. It has the pointed side of the egg up at the top, and it has the rounded, wider side of the egg down at the bottom. Now, ours in the incubator, they sit in these little shelves like this, right? And we have our eggs with the pointed side down. So our eggs kind of look more, well, that was awful. Let's try that again. Kind of look more like that. There we go. So the pointed side down and the wider side at the top. And the reason why we're doing that is because air floats to the top. So here's our air sac up at the top. Our embryo is sort of head to feet, kind of like this. He's sort of bent over backwards, head to feet like that. So down here at the bottom is the pointed side. So our chicken's head is up here at the top, right? Here's his little head, here's his beak, and here's his feet and all the rest of his body and all those blood vessels all around him and all that. He's up near the top, close to the air sac. We want to do that so that when he starts pipping and zipping, when he starts coming around the egg like this, and he makes the first crack, and he goes and he goes and he goes and he goes, and he sort of cracks the egg in half, right? When he does that, we want to give him as much room as possible. We also want that air sac to be up here at the top, so this will be the first breath that he breathes is up here at the top, and he'll pip and zip all the way across, and we're getting super close to that, right? We only have 7 days left for him to pip and zip out of that egg. All right, so that's a little more what it looks like in our incubator. We put them pointed side down and wide side up at the top. Our 2 vocabulary words for today are cockerel and chick. A chick is what you call a newly hatched chicken, and a cockerel is what you call a male chicken that's less than a year old. See the body of the rooster? Look how different. You remember what we learned about how to tell the difference between the rooster's body, how tall he stands up, how muscular he looks, right? And the hen sits lower to the ground, so you can really tell it on this one. Both the hen and the rooster can have a wattle and a comb, so that doesn't necessarily identify them apart, but the way their bodies are shaped totally looks different, doesn't it? And their personality is totally different. So do you remember the name of what we called a hen that was 6 months or less? We've already had that word as a vocabulary word. Do you remember? And you guys used it in your writing. See if you can remember what it was called. Pullet. That's exactly right. So we called a hen less than 6 months old a pullet. We call a male, a rooster that's less than a year old, a cockerel. And if you'll think about it, what do roosters sound like when they make their crowing noise in the morning? Cock-a-doodle-doo. That's where we got that from. Cockerel. Cockerel. That's the name of a male chicken less than a year old. So today is day 14. We have 7 days left. It is Sunday, April the 28th. How exciting!